Alone / Together is a movie by Antoinette Hadaune, who directed movies like That Thing Called Tadhana, Love You to the Stars and Back, and Never Not Love You. Right away you can tell that this movie is a romance movie just by those examples, never mind the fact that it stars probably our current most popular love team, Liz Ken. However, just like those movies, it's basically just like those movies. I just want to say right off the bat that this is probably one of the stronger points of the story. The lighting, set pieces, camera work are all well done. The mood of each scene are well driven by the visuals, and you can definitely feel the slight air of melancholy just by looking at the trailer alone. Direct Hadaune is no stranger to making her films look great. For the most part, the editing was fine. I did notice a few sound design errors, which sounded like they mixed dubbing and on-set recorded sound. Mixing those, of course, is a bad idea. I still think this is a lot better than the Star Cinema movies in that aspect, because Star Cinema likes to dub their movies, and I personally think their sound design is extremely bad because of this.
May kulang ba sa'kin? May mali ba sa'kin? Bakit ba ako?
First, we have to talk about the soundtrack. It's one of the better soundtracks I've heard in a local film, to be honest. Yes, I'm talking about JM De Guzman's version of 214 or 214. It's no surprise that the trailer was well made because it was accompanied by this song. And this song had people singing along in the cinema, which is pretty cool. This movie is probably one of Hadaune's better works. Personally, I think Never Not Love You was better because it sold you on the characters more. Hit the comments below if you want me to review this one. James Reid felt like a real guy, and Nadine felt like a real girl. Both have inherent flaws, and that's what makes their characters so good. She just confused, bro. It's like the producers are afraid of her playing other characters, even if that's all it takes for her to be a well-known, respectable actress. Enrique Gil is also pretty much himself in this movie. Just another goofy guy. What is it with goofy guys and perfect princess girls in romance movies? Especially here in the Philippines. Seriously. I have to give him credit though. I felt more of his internal struggles than I did with Liza's character. A lot of people like Liza's character because they can relate to her existential / career problems. But I personally can't appreciate this character that I've seen over and over again in movies. I look for complexity, nuances, and unpredictability in a character, and that's fine if you like purely relatable characters like Liza's is. It's just that it definitely helps to have a more layered character. And can we talk about Luis Alandi as Greg? This character is just another stereotypical mess, just another douche boss that prioritizes work over everything and is condescending to his pretty girlfriend. I know bosses can be dicks, but you know what would make an interesting boss? Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. I think it would be better if all bosses in every Filipino story acts like that. I know. Yes, he does a lot of drugs and a ton of other debaucherous stuff. But he is also a good friend and he cares for his family. He's not just this one thing, an asshole boss like this prick. All you need to know about this character is just from one scene. You'll be able to completely predict every move he makes. And his character is just that two-dimensional. This section contains spoilers, be warned. I see just one glaring contradiction. In the story, we see the spoliarium, and they have this discussion in class about not forgetting about your past or history. However, the character arc of Liza's character, Tin, has a past mistake she cannot let go of that cripples her future decision. She's able to finally go for what she wants when she lets go of her past. Two things here: not forgetting about the past, letting go of the past. Two major contradictions. Neither are actually wrong statements. It's just that why do you have to put these two things in the same movie? It just adds a major disconnect in my opinion. I think if you're trying to see one thing, every sort of discussion, every little symbolism, visuals, whatever, it should point to that direction. It shouldn't go this other way. And especially in this story where it sort of contradicts each other. And again, both are good statements, both are good messages. It's just that, I don't know, I just don't think it blends well, to be honest. Also, the spoliarium painting as the movie's symbolism, bruh. I mean, it was great when it was used in General Luna, but the painting and song of spoliarium are two very dark things, and I don't think they should be placed in these romance movies whose characters have only internally driven problems. Another thing is that this movie suffers from originality, rather lack thereof. Actually, a lot of Hadaunis films do. They use, guess what? Artist as their main character. J.M. de Guzman in that thing called Tadhana is a struggling artist, or struggled anyway. James Reid in Never Not Love You is a struggling artist, a graphic designer. And now Liza Soberano is a struggling artist. Although she doesn't primarily create art, she does work and is interested in that industry. See, the problem with this artist thing is your story comes off as a dear diary, some personal thing, and it doesn't really expand beyond that, beyond what you know about yourself as an artist. Yes, Antoinette Hadaune is an artist. She's a filmmaker. She's a writer, right? She might have produced films, and at the very core of that, she's an artist. So it's the first type of story you'll make as a filmmaker is a story about an artist, because that's the easiest film to make. But the problem that is you cannot go beyond yourself. That's why you're pretty much inviting cliches when you're writing about your own experiences. There's so many stories out there, like you can make a story about a female firefighter, a female freaking computer technology hacker, whatever. Like, there's so many stories out there, and it's kind of a waste seeing all these types of characters repeated in every movie. You see, the thing is, the artist thing can be replaced with anything. Art doesn't necessarily have anything to do to connect with the story. The main conflict is an internally motivated problem, not being sure with a career that you've been in. You know, you can be successful in school, we can do everything, and you can still fail in life, and that's okay. That's what the film is about, right? So that's good, but Han Solo cannot be anything aside from a smuggler, because his actions, the way he acts, the way he makes decisions is all influenced by his experience as a smuggler. And 500 Days of Summer, a more grounded story. Tom being an architect, yes, an architect is kind of an artist, but being an architect has a direct connection with him writing postcards. You see, the author of the screenplay said that's good contradiction, being maker of this most disposable thing, postcards, as opposed to being an architect, making the least disposable thing, a building.
I guess I just figured, why make something disposable like a building when you can make something that lasts forever, like a greeting card?
So that has a connection to his growth as a character. I mean, all these details need to be taken into consideration in order to make a great film that connects with the audience. Like, these are current producers who are hiring Liza Soberano, Enrique Gil. They can definitely make something solid. They just can break through their cliche way of selling movies. They definitely have the money to do it. They can definitely find the talent to do it. But anyway, that's pretty much the gap between us and Hollywood. There's really a big gap between our mainstream movies and Hollywood's movies. Even the mainstream movies in Hollywood. I also have to note in the story, the dialogue very on the nose, and I thought it was pretty annoying. Like, it's okay, you can say that. Just say it once, because they've kept repeating this thing.
Magna cum laude standing ka, tapos on time ka pag-graduate. Totoo ka ba?
Gusto ko nang baguhin ang mundo.
Bakit ba ako?
Anyway, that's all I have to say about the movie Alone/Together or Alone Together. I'd say it's a good movie. If you're not a fan of cliches, repetitive stories, I'm sorry, this is just not anything new. If you like to watch these romance movies, you've liked them time and time again, every time you watch them and you just want to have a good time, I think this is one of the better movies. It's just that it doesn't do much new. except for maybe the ending, which I don't want to spoil. But the ending was pretty unique in its own way. But yeah, aside from that, if you like the video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. Did you like the movie or not? And yes, I'll see you in the next video.